This is Google My Maps presentation, or my Google My Maps presentation. This is a trip I went on to Finland back in 2019. So I'm gonna share those points with you. So the first place we went when we landed in Finland was Lahti. It is a gorgeous city in Finland. It's gonna be hard to explain all of these, but because everything is just so different from what most people see, all the greenery, the weather, the people, everything. It's a great experience when we go. My fiance is from Finland, so we go back and visit his family every couple of years, and this was a trip we took in 2019. We got to see, I got to go to the top of Salpauseki, which is a ski jump that is usually covered in snow in the winter. We usually go to Finland in summer just because it's nicer and most of his family has vacation during the summertime. But Salpauseka was a ski jump that his cousin worked at, so she got us like exclusive access while it was closed to be able to go see it. So this is like the view from the top of it. It had just got done raining earlier that day, so everything's kind of wet, but it was gorgeous to see. And I couldn't really rotate this picture, even though when I uploaded it, it was rotated correctly. But this is also the top of the ski jump. Off to the right-hand side, up at the top, you can see where it goes down and out. And then this is like a football soccer field that they have at the stadium as well. The stadium seats hold around 60,000 people, which is really cool. The next stop we went on was Helsinki, which is the main capital of Finland. And we got to see some amazing sights. We got to eat some awesome like Finnish food at the food fair that they had going on in downtown Helsinki. We got to see a gorgeous cathedral, and here's the picture of it that was there. They built it. It's still in use. It still holds services, and you can walk in and kind of look at it during the day when services aren't being held. They are a predominantly Catholic nation, Catholic and Christian nation. But different religions have started to take over in the past decade. But it was gorgeous. It was all like gold embroidered inside, and it was just beautiful. We also got to visit a museum in Helsinki that was the War Museum. So Finland did actually fight in World War II, and they fought Russia for their independence because Russia did rule over them at one point. And so they fought for their independence, and these were some medals. It was interesting to see the swastika sign in the museum, very prominent, and it was not something they frowned upon because to them it was seen as a different symbol. It wasn't seen like we see it as the Nazis. This was like before the Nazis even were around to give it the bad name that it has, that we know today. Even though they did fight in World War II, some of these medals are from World War I and even prior to that for military services, which is required for anyone 18 and over who lives in the country. So once you turn 18, you actually serve 2 years in their military. All men do. It's mandatory for men. But this was just kind of a cool museum. We got to see some Purple Heart medals. And then as you can see, like 1, 2, and 3 here, which are the oldest ones, look like the swastika sign. But it meant different things to them. But it was a gorgeous museum to see. There were tanks and pictures, and their history is really cool. How they defeated the Russians and everything like that to gain their independence. So the next place we went to is Heinola. Heinola is a little. It's a city, but it's also like a private. They have a lot of like little private islands in Finland because a lot of it is surrounded by water. Most people that live in Finland have a house in a major city. And then they also have a lake house. That's very common for people to have two houses in Finland. They call it their summer cabins. So we traveled to his grandfather's summer cabin in Finland. His grandfather built the cabin, and this is the view from the edge of the like land looking out into the lake. And yes, this is the lake. I know this looks very vast, but it's a lake, and it was gorgeous. Here's part of the cabin. Me and my fiance stayed in the cabin that you see in the picture. This is more of a panoramic view. Behind this picture is 3 more cabins that his grandfather also hand built. Most of the time in Finland, when you have a summer cabin, the men do build the cabins. They are taught building skills, and they do hand build their cabins on their land around the lakes. So it was very nice. We got to go canoeing. You can see the little canoe over here. There's also a fire pit down here where we roast hot dogs, and a sauna. In front of this cabin, there's a sauna. Those are very, very, very common. There are more saunas per capita than people in Finland, which was interesting to learn, but they use them a lot, and they're so nice. I love saunas. The next place we went back to Helsinki, but in Helsinki, we got on a boat or a cruise ship, and we went to Stockholm. This was during my birthday in 2019, and it was amazing. We walked around. We got to eat at some awesome places. We actually ate at a place that served Swedish meatballs, like authentic Swedish meatballs, and with gravy and mashed potatoes and, just all types of just national Swedish food. So this was kind of like our view as we were walking. A lot of construction was going on in Stockholm when we went in 2019. A lot. They had a lot of streets shut down, but we walked everywhere, and we went to a lot of cool places. Like up this alley is some more buildings and restaurants, and it's just a gorgeous place. This is, again, I don't know why it did this, but this is like a lunch menu from a place we went to in Sweden that has pizza. Right? So they have the salmon with the boiled potatoes and the cold lemon sauce, spaghetti scampi and chili, garlic, and tomatoes, Caesar salad with tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil, and everything was so fresh. It wasn't like mozzarella you buy here. It wasn't like salmon you get here. It was all fresh ingredients, like homemade in these restaurants. And you can see the prices are a lot different. That's not dollars. They use crowns. I believe it's either crowns or pounds in Sweden. So yeah, it was definitely different buying things in Sweden. We had to use card. Like, luckily they took like credit cards. So, but it was really amazing to see Stockholm, Sweden. We plan on going back. And then the last trip we took, so we went back to Helsinki after our trip to Stockholm, Sweden. Then we got on a ferry and went to Estonia. Fun fact about Estonia that we learned while we were there is Estonian citizens can't have dual citizenship. Meaning if you live in Estonia, you are an Estonian citizen and nothing else. If you move to America, you cannot have an American and an Estonian citizenship. Estonians can only have Estonian citizenships, which was interesting to know because, what happens if you live in Estonia but have to come to America for work? You have to relinquish your Estonian citizenship until you're ready to move back. And it's hard to get an Estonian citizenship. So we took a small day cruise, as you can see from Helsinki, or a little dot here across the Gulf of Finland is what they call it on the map here. Baltic Sea is what it is. See, here's the Baltic Sea. We took it across and we went to Estonia. We went to a prominent town in Estonia. Another fun fact about it is that people from Finland get on this ferry often. They buy tickets for the ferries, and they actually go and buy alcohol in Estonia because Finland is a socialist country, so their government controls when you can buy alcohol and how much you can buy at a time. and Estonia doesn't. So, and it's cheaper, a lot cheaper in Estonia for alcohol. So, Finnish people get on a ferry, go to Estonia, load up on alcohol, and then take it back. And that's legal. The Finnish government allows them to do that. But here were some pictures. We got to go to a really cool like butcher place too. That was like a restaurant. So it was like everything was fresh. Like the butcher's meat was all fresh, and they made the hamburgers right there in front of you and everything like that. So these are just some awesome like things they were doing in the park that day. Some nice buildings. It's very old looking, old English looking type buildings in Estonia. And it was really like homey and small. We even went to like a little farmer's market type thing where people sold clothes and stuff. And I was like, I wish it was cold enough in America to buy some of the outfits, or cold enough in California, I should say, to buy some of the outfits that they had made in Estonia, because they were gorgeous to see. So, so that was our trip. Those were 5 of the main places we went to when we took our trip to Finland. I hope you enjoy this.